Hi, folks, and welcome to the big July episode where we have the draft, we have All-Star, we have trade deadline, we have so much to go over in this episode. And without further ado, let's kind of just scope the landscape. Right now, we are second in the AL East, only 3 games behind Baltimore, and we are half a game up against the Yankees, sitting decently comfortably in the second wild card slot. Taking a look at our league rankings, really, contact power, the hitting is good. Everything else, it seems like, can be jazzed up. We are looking for a place to add. It's maybe a right-handed bat, potentially at second base, just to give this offense a little bit more oomph, even more so. And then in the pitching rotation, maybe an extra starter. Cutter Crawford not getting the job done. I'm okay with throwing him into the bullpen and adding an impact starter here at the deadline. Let's take a quick look at who is out there as we're a month away. Here's our trading blocks. These are guys that we are kind of dangling out there. A guy like Quinn Priester maybe is the answer. Richard Fitz, Dick Fitz, maybe he's the answer for what we need in our situation, but I don't mind using them to get a bigger fish. Again, looking for good starting pitching. I'm not sure it's going to be out there on this trade block. We'll see as the month unfolds what comes of that, but we'll be looking at teams that aren't that good, seeing where we can poach, maybe try to make some deals, move some stuff around, and really see. Evan Carter's a guy that I'm always intrigued with, and maybe one day, but bats lefty, not at the moment for us. But we'll see if there are any big swings that we can make. And Mundo Sosa having a good season. Maybe he's someone we look into to be our second base bat, as Christian Campbell a little struggling at the moment. But yeah, so that's what we have out there in the world of the trade block at the moment. Samuel Basallo is there. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what we do. Let's see what we can do, and let's win again. We want to be firmly in a wild card spot by this point. Can we do that? Let's see. Big news on the injury front. Johnny Turner dislocated his shoulder. We'll throw him on the shelf, and we really don't have much pitching depth, and maybe that's something that we look to go and get. Here's an offer from the Reds. They're offering us Andrew Abbott for Dick Fitz. Probably not. I don't know why they would do that. Abbott better, same age, maybe money-wise, but we're not going to do that trade just because I don't really think that's too realistic, and Abbott not having the best of seasons. So we will scrap that for the moment. But we're kind of running out of pitching depth. Maybe we have to make some lower level free agent signings or something. All right, here we are before the draft. Obviously, Salvatore Ramirez is the number one prospect. Just kind of looking around, these are all the guys that we have. I'll stop and talk about anyone that I think maybe like Robert Yamashita, 6th on our board, 13th on Major League Baseball's board. So there are some gems in here. There are some guys that we've added, that we've scouted. Sil Badia, a guy that we think could be something really good. Julio Cesaro, we just scouted. We think he can be really good. But I think we have a very good foundation. We definitely think we're very prepared for the 8th pick, no matter how those ping pong balls fall. And I think we're also have a real good foundation for later in the draft. Guys like Ryan Stanley here who have high potential later in the draft. The potential to have high potential. Joe Swift, a guy that we've scouted and we think that we can be really, really good later on. Taylor Tuval, real good potential ranges. These guys will just be a bit. So, without further ado, let's get into the draft. It's going to be Pittsburgh going first, with Chicago and Washington behind them. Los Angeles Angels, Rockies, Marlins, Astros, and then us at number 8. With the number 1 overall pick, it is not going to be Salvatore Ramirez. It's going to be Dwayne Bart. We had him number 2 on our board. He goes number 1. With the number 2 overall pick, it is Ernie Colbert, the third-ranked prospect, our 4th-ranked prospect. And with the third pick, Sean Daniels, he goes. He was falling on our board 5th. So Salvatore Ramirez, again, would be the number 1 pick. DJ Park, I think, is going to be our second guy we'd like. Hopefully one or both of those guys are there. And Ramirez, he goes to the Angels. I think he's the clear-cut number 1 guy. I think he's going to be playing very, very soon. And that is going to be a real good pick for them. Andres Portillo, a guy that we were starting to like a little bit better. We didn't only got 25% scouted, but the Rockies, they seem to like what they got there. Eric Stahl, he was falling and he's injured. Again, DJ Park is probably going to be the pick here if the Astros let him go. And Lamar Telshaw, he goes. We liked him as well. And we are probably going to go with DJ Park. Throws fast, slider changeup, 2 different fastballs. Good walks per 9, good pitch velocity. We really like the profile. 21 years old, out of New York. Could probably be in the big league team pretty soon. Is there anyone else that we're forgetting that maybe is going to pressure us away from this pick? I don't think so. Yeah, so we're going to make the pick. It's going to be DJ Park being drafted in the 8th overall pick. Did opt out of the doctor's exam. Maybe that does anything. But let's see how the rest of this first round goes. Again, the more guys that we have on this list towards the end, the better. St. Louis, they are next. And they'll go with Julio Saucedo, a guy that we just finished up scouting. He looks to be a decent ball player out of the West region in center field. Peter Koufax goes, all right, this is a guy that I thought maybe we could have got later on, but he jumps all the way up from Massachusetts as well, and the A's make a big surprise move here. Brian Montanez goes. We want to see these guys go. The guys that we weren't liking too much, maybe Major League draft ranks liked better. David Meza, guy that we didn't really put too much much stock into. He goes with Tampa Bay. I'm sure they got a stud knowing how they draft. Jeff Huber goes. So we like Jeff Huber a little bit more than the draft rank did. And so did the Cleveland Guardians. They get him at 13 when he was projected to go 10. Rodney Bartlett, a guy we didn't scout just because of the injury. He will go to Kansas City. I think they ended up getting the number 1 overall projected prospect last year as well. So 2 good guys, depending on, at least in the pre-draft. I think the guy didn't end up working out too good. Jim Fuller, he goes here. At Toronto, high school arm. Christopher Washington, a catcher. He goes with Cincinnati's pick here. We weren't too high on him, it seems, with just limited scouting. Cash Hamlin, the 8th overall prospect and someone that was predicted to us a lot in these mock drafts. He goes 17 to Milwaukee. Gary Serna Ruiz, a guy that we liked. Definitely didn't think he was going to be sticking around later into the draft, so a guy that we were okay parting ways with. He goes to San Diego. I'd love to see how good he turns out to be. Tim Gomez, he checks in at number 19 with Detroit. Bobby Newcomb. All right, that's what we like to see. A guy that was low ranked on our board, low ranked on Major League Baseball's board, but looks like he's going to be a freak athlete and just in a great glove for the Yankees. Tobias Haney, he goes, a guy that was kind of out of our range, so we didn't put too much scouting into him. Jesus Montano, a center fielder who was injured, 18 years old. Hard to scout those 18-year-olds unless you're like identifying them early, and the way we like to do it, we just weren't putting too much. Gerard Franklin, someone that we did try to put some info into late. This is what he looked like, a switch hitter. Richard Taylor, number 2 ranked prospect. He just kept going down and down and down from Canada. He goes in the first round still, but not that number 2 projected like he thought. Sonny Goff, a guy that I thought about getting into the equation late on, but decided I don't really think we were going to pick him 8, and I don't think he was going to last till later. He goes right at 25 where he was projected to. Rod Post, another guy catcher-wise. I think if we were going to get catcher, it's going to be Dwayne Bart. He went number 1, so I didn't really focus too much on Post. Eugene Hull, he's a starting pitching prospect, 22 on our board, 21 in Major League. He goes 27th. Next up is Alexi Nunez, a guy who was rising without us really scouting. I think I have a sneaky suspicion he's going to be very, very, very good, and Texas might have got a real good one. Herman Borowitz, a third baseman out of the Central region from Mississippi. He goes, and then the Twins, who do they get to wrap things up? It is Basil Padilla, so a guy that we thought we could get a little bit later. He goes in the first round. We'll see what the Dodgers pick is here. It is Justin DiMaggio, and we will see you with our next pick as we'll simulate a little bit farther in front here. All right, so we are up now in round number 2. I did see that Marcel Belcher did last all the way down here, so that was one guy. Robert Yamashita is a guy that we definitely could go after, maybe even wait one more pick to go after going starting pitcher already. A guy like Tom Frazier here wouldn't be bad. I don't think he's going to last too much longer. We have plenty of starting pitching depth. And then, so I think I'm going to go get the shortstop. I think I'm going to get Tom Frazier. Looks like a good contact bat. Good athlete. And while maybe in my head, getting a guy like Yamashita or Barnes, number 6, number 19 on our board, we hope that we can wait till 83 to get somebody here. And Tom Frazier is going to be the pick. The lefty bat, JUCO bat, number 44 overall, Tom Frazier. And with our third pick in the draft, we do see Robert Yamashita go at number 73. We are going to waste no time. We are going to pick up Peter Barnes. And we think we got a real good one here in Barnes. He opted out as well, but we are going to make our second starting pitching pick here in round number 3, pick 83. All right, looking left here, again, it's just go get your guys. We have Reynaldo Torres, who is not ranked anywhere else. Justin Sampson, not ranked. Joe Swift and Taylor Duvall. I think we're going to go out and get one of these guys. We're going to take Taylor Duvall, guarantee a high potential guy. We'll let him wait. We'll let him marinate. We'll let him develop, hopefully maybe a trade prospect or something that we can get major league value out of one day. All right, and with this pick, we're going to just waste no time. We'll get Joe Swift, another guy that out of the outfield thinks he's going to have high potential. Switch here. Love to see that for us. And Reynaldo Torres is still there, a high school arm. Strikeouts are high. Only a 3-pitch mix. If you look at the other prospects out there, I think this is our highest upside pick, which I'm all for going for the high upside. So let us get Reynaldo Torres and round out this draft. Now let's go see how good these guys were and how the rest of the league did. Time to take a look at our draft picks as always, and we knocked it out of the park again. DJ Park ended up being our number 1 overall, our number 1 selection. Huge, very good walks per 9. Hits in Ks per 9 needs some work. Maybe we'll start him off in the lower minors, but DJ Park, a guy that if we can get those hits and strikeouts per 9 up, I think he'll be very, very good. 93 potential, so he hit right in the middle or towards the higher end of his thing. Tom Frazier ended up not being as good as I thought he could have been, but that's kind of the risk. 83 potential, so closer to his floor than his ceiling. Same thing for Peter Barnes, but still got 2 guys that I think could be really good. 59 overall for Frazier, 55 overall for Barnes, who's going to give a lot of home runs, but just depth, let him develop. We'll see what we get. Taylor Duvall is going to take some time to develop, but an 89 potential for him. And same thing, Joe Swift, low potential, but a high power upside, good athletic left fielder, 91 potential for him. And Reynaldo Torres, starting pitcher, 18 years old, ended up being 78 and 69 overall. So our picks, they went well. Let's check up the rest of the league. Any notable guys? For the Yankees, they messed up on their first overall pick, and they just went reliever the whole time. They do get a couple good ones, but good, the Yankees suck. David Meza for the Rays, he sucks, and they did not have a good draft until the end when they got Keaton Medina, who's pretty good, but a reliever. So how good can he be? Jim Fuller was okay. Guillermo Davila, the crown jewel of the Blue Jays draft, but nothing too crazy there. And then we'll check out Orioles, who Crew Ray ended up being pretty good, but other than that, they missed out on Adam Sandoval. And Rob Post ended up being just a 79 overall, so good thing we didn't go after him. Ernie Colbert, I believe the third pick in the draft, something like that. He ended up being pretty good, 89 overall for the Chicago White Sox. Jeff Huber, 79 overall, but playable day one. So not too much more growing for Huber, but pretty decent out of the box. Glad we went the other way than trying to select him. Decent draft for Detroit. Rodney Bartlett, he was an injured outfielder, ended up being pretty decent, 61 overall at 18 years old with 86 overall potential. Basil Padilla ended up being decent, 84 overall, B potential. He went in the end of that first round. We thought we can get him later. Nino Gonzalez and Robert Norris ended up being good for the Twins, a good draft with him. Lamar Telshaw ended up being pretty good, 67 overall, maybe just better, but those walks were 9, pretty low. And then Ryan Stanley, who we had looked at as one of those guys to get at the end of the draft. We ended up getting 2 of them. He would have been in consideration, 90 overall. Sergio Maraville, also 90 overall. So a good draft by the Astros. Salvatore Ramirez, not quite a generational prospect, but I love this. Really good college bat out of the gate with still good potential, room to grow. But he is going to be playing for the Angels right away, I would assume. Maybe first base is his home with the fielding being the way it is. 5'8". Maybe we just jump him up. Patrick Altman, a guy we looked at a little bit, 78 overall. He ended up going to the Angels here. Peter Koufax ended up being very, very, very good. And yeah, we thought we could get him later on. No, he went up in the top 10, top 15 lottery pick. And he ended up being really, really, really good. So far, the best potential we've seen in the draft. Gerard Franklin we scouted, 79 potential. Not that great of a draft for these two teams. Sean Guy, ends up having high potential there. Jesus Montano, a first-round pick, not good. Richard Taylor, not good. Not a great draft by the Phillies. And it looks like the Nationals didn't quite hit on their top pick. I think they had 2, but they do get Clark Smith and Elijah Reyes down in the draft, and they're pretty good. Trying to find any other of the guys. Cash Hamlin was picked to us, 75 overall. Dwayne Bart ended up being pretty good. And then Tom Mott ended up being pretty good. So overall, you hit on your highs. You get major league players with your lows. Real good draft by the Pirates. Julio Saucedo ended up being 93 overall. We thought about him for a second. And Merle Prado, he's 94 overall. So a real good draft. Especially very top-heavy, and Robert Yamashita ended up being 84 overall, so a guy we were thinking about. Then Stephen Yang ended up being 85 overall, another guy that we had on our board. So real good draft by the Cardinals. Sonny Goff ended up being 79. Marcel Belcher, 86 overall, going to the Diamondbacks with 2 guys. We thought they ended up going to Arizona. Andres Portillo, the Rockies jumped up and grabbed him early. We thought we can get him later. He ended up being a very good pick. Rick Luna, late for the Dodgers. They just continue to get assets. Gary Serna Ruiz ended up being 84 potential and pretty good out of the box. So good pick up by the San Diego Padres to kind of supplement their talent. And Neil Corbett, another guy we were looking at, 84 overall. Rod Post, then crew. Right. So overall, I thought we did pretty good. We'll see what this next generation of Red Sox talent enters our farm system, what we're able to do with them. I have high hopes. He should be real fun to work with. So here are the All-Stars for the American League and the National League. Gallen, J.P. Sears, Tyler Mahle, Nathan Eovaldi, and George Kirby are your All-Star starter pitching. Matt Strahm is a reliever for Texas. Andres Munoz, Josh Hader, Mason Miller, Alex Lang, Justin Slayton, our very own Justin Slayton, this season so far. 41 games, 30 saves, just 1 blown save. Just been absolutely impeccable from the closing spot. And Jeff Hoffman for the Blue Jays. Catchers are Ryan Jeffers, Logan O'Hoppe, and JT Realmuto. Josh Naylor and Vinny Pasquantino at first. Jose Altuve, Will Wagner, and Ahmed Rosario at second base. Jose Ramirez, Jordan Westberg, and Rafael Devers at third. Gunnar Henderson, Ha-Seong Kim, the shortstops. Alvarez, Duran, Stanton O'Neill, Rodriguez, and Aaron Judge and Kyle Tucker in your outfield, with Devers, Stanton, Altuve, and Wagner being the DHs, if you will. Starting pitching, Jesus Luzardo, Chris Sale, Jake Irvin, Justin Steele, Shohei Ohtani, and Jared Jones make it in the National League. Josh Dalmont, the reliever, with Justin Martinez, Edwin Diaz, Raisel Iglesias, Ryan Helsley, Spencer Bivens, and David Bednar, your closers. Will Smith, Ivan Herrera, and Luis Campuzano, the catchers. Jonah Bride, Wilson Contreras, and Michael Tolia, the first baseman, so one of each division represented. Bryce Terang and Bryson Stott, the second baseman. Max Muncy, Austin Riley at third. Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, and Xander Bogaerts at short. Christian Yelich in left, Jung-Hoo Lee, Michael Harrison center, and Juan Soto, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Corbin Carroll in right, with Shohei, Soto, Jung-Hoo Lee, and Christian Yelich being your DHs. All right, starting off our festivities here in the Home Run Derby here at Citizens Bank Park, which would be very, very, very nice. Let's see. We have no guys. It's Shohei, Max Muncy, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Gunnar Henderson, Josh Naylor, Will Smith, and Giancarlo Stanton. So 3 Dodgers, 3 Yankees or former Yankees, and then Josh Naylor and Gunnar Henderson. Let's see who wins. So in the first round, this is how it stacks up. We got Stanton, Ohtani, Henderson, and Soto left. Let's see who goes to the championship round. All right, Gunnar versus Shohei. Who wins? Looks like Gunnar Henderson is your champion with 17 home runs in that final round. And your home run derby champion, Gunnar Henderson. Shout out Gunnar, I guess. So as we saw, we have 3 All-Star representatives. Justin Slayton, who has been phenomenal this season in the closing spot. Jaron Duran opening things up for us, as he is in the All-Star game with a single here. And Rafael Devers. So another thing I want to note is, I accidentally skipped over the Futures game. So no Futures game gameplay here. We don't even really know who made it. But Jaron Duran ended up with a single today, as you saw, and then a couple of steals. We didn't show that, obviously. We're kind of doing the quick manage and just picking out some of the highlights. Batting-wise, his slider he got hanging there that he throws into right field. That's down for an out. And then later on in the game, this is 5th at-bat in the American League. Really took the National League to the woodshed. Popped up. I decided, you know what? Fuck it. We're in the All-Star game. We're up 90. Let's see if we can get Jaron an RBI. We couldn't. So there we go. Next up, Rafael Devers. Only got 1 at-bat. Also didn't get Slayton into this game. But Devers cranks a fastball outside, lifted high, deep right field wall, and caught. And that's the All-Star game, folks. Glad you watched. Okay, so we are 2 games over 500 in that July 23rd period. Kind of hasn't been our month. We won 2 out of 3 against Miami, but we 1 out of 2 against the Athletics, 1 out of 2 against St. Louis, swept by the Nationals, and 2 out of 3 against Tampa Bay. And this is where the tough part of our season begins. New York, Atlanta, Seattle, Texas, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, New York, Baltimore. We get Philadelphia, who's good. The Twins are good. I mean, we have the best teams in the league coming up. We don't have much time to waste. Some people will see the writing on the wall and say, you know what? Time to get out of here. Some will say it's time to go. Just looking at our lineups right now. Devers gone cold. Bregman gone cold. Duran an all-star. Connor Wong's picking it up. Abreu's picking it up. Roman Anthony starting to find his stride. But Christian Campbell's bogging us down. Marcelo Meyer's been doing fine. Trevor Story playing isn't great. Our bench guys aren't giving us much of anything. We need to go out there and get a bat. We need to get that bat ASAP. Pitching-wise, that's the lineups again. Pitching-wise, Crochet starting to struggle a bit. Montgomery holding it down. Crawford doing okay. The rotation is okay. The bullpen is fine, but I would like to get maybe a starter, maybe a bat. Let's see what we can go up there and get. Here it is, the blockbuster all been waiting for. Sandy Alcantara is coming to Boston. We are departing with Wilyer Abreu, Quinn Priester, and Antonio Anderson. We get Alcantara for the rest of this year and next year, just $12 million. And Willier's a great player. He's fantastic. Over the 270 hitter over the last 10 games. He played 50 games with us. He has been great. Almost won Rookie of the Year. We are going to send him off a real good, young, team-controlled lefty bat to go to Miami, who need all the help they can get, especially in the outfield, rejoined with Rob Refsnyder, so they can do that little platoon. So Willier, all the potential in the world, 82 overall, by the way, as well. We're also departing with Antonio Anderson, a C potential prospect, third base, real good fielder, 20 years old, has so much more room to grow. And we are saying goodbye to Quinn Priester as well. Has been killing it in AAA this year, 2.69 ERA, and we will be making this move and really bolstering up. We have a lot of really, really, really good teams coming up. Alcantara fits now. He fits next year. He fits infinity. Sandy Alcantara, welcome to Boston, my friend. Another move we were making, Brendan Donovan coming to Boston. He's going to help in that second base mold that we're looking for. Hasn't been playing every day this year. A 297 average, 860 OPS, and we have him under arbitration for one more year. We're getting rid of Dick Fitz and Vaughn Grissom. It fits some needs for the Cardinals as they are rebuilding. They get a young, controllable pitcher to add to their ranks, and then also gets a second baseman who that position isn't really locked down. You add some depth there, and a guy that with B potential could raise the ranks. Fits for Brendan Donovan straight up worked, but I felt like adding another piece for them would really, really help. We add on, and we are making moves. We are really going for this push, ladies and gentlemen. Big trade as the Seattle Mariners get Mason Miller with 3 more years remaining on his deal. Lazaro Montes is the big guy going to, I guess, the Athletics. Still not Vegas quite yet, but he's a good prospect. And Scott Myers also going to the Athletics. And they are getting, again, Seattle bolstering up, getting Mason Miller. That is a big one. All right, here it is. Big trade as Danny Jansen goes to the Phillies for Richard Springer, who I think is like a top prospect in the game. Not sure why that was a move that was done. Jesus Sanchez goes to the Astros for a couple of prospects. Obviously, the moves we made here on the 23rd. J.J. Bleday went to the Mets from, again, I want to say Oakland. The Athletics, Derek Hill for Dylan Beavers, Marlins, and Orioles. Yandy Diaz goes to the Guardians, where it all started, for Jason Chourio for the Rays. Mariners gets Jesus Tinoco for Ramon Perez. And then Ryan McMahon to the Blue Jays for Brendan Barrera, who ended up on the Rockies in our Rockies franchise. So those are the moves that we got going, and that is going to do it here. Right now, we sit a game back of the wild card. Royals, Yankees, Rangers ahead of us. We are 7.5 games back of the Orioles, a game and a half back of the Yankees. This is it. This is a huge stretch. This is a make or break stretch. Do we make it or do we break it? We'll see you next time to find out.